cackles like a witch. Here we are. Hey, petty bitch.
Control yourself, bitch.
I forgot to unmute myself. That will never not be funny. I had to make sure I included Dirt Neck at the end of the intro just to assure you all we have not forgotten about Dirt Neck and we will be circling back around. All right, just not today. Good afternoon, everybody. Look at me almost on time. Close enough, right? For sure. Peb's mom, thank you so much for joining memberships, girl. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Kath Run, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Got a coffee and a snack ready for this. I'm ready for it too. I had some lunch. It was delicious. And then I got me some water. And I think we're ready. I think I'm ready to go. I have a lot of moving parts here for today's stream. Hopefully I can get through this without it being a total shit show, but you just never know. You just never know around here, right? So totally fine. Hello everybody. Amy PJ, thank you for being a member for 17 months. I appreciate your support on my channel. Smoky Bitch, thank you so much for joining memberships. Forever Basic Betty, you shall be. Kells Bells, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Hub's got me a notebook with my name on it and you love it. Oh my God, that is so exciting. Congratulations. Can't wait for you to get it. I do love making the notebooks. Illyria Spite, thank you so much for being a member for 34 months. Shamrocks for sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting my channel with the swords. Hey, Fauntleroy, I see you. Shelly Ray, thank you for being a member for 30 months. That's a long time. Happy Friday to you too. Forever a Basic Betty. Lisa Simpson, thank you so much for gifting 5 Samantha Jean memberships. Nikki, a Fancy Face Pebbles, Jess, My Neuro Spicy Life, and Bridget in New Mexico. Welcome all new members. Make sure you take your gifted membership for a spin. Did I end up doing some new emojis? Did we have these before when I did my last stream? I can't remember. I know I cleaned up my emojis. I definitely took some away, but these are the current emojis if you are a member on the channel. There you go. I can't remember if I did those emojis before or after my last stream, but there you have it. And I love this one because like you can literally make her look either way. Fucking Dirt Neck, bro. All right. Hey, Cantel Marie. Nice to see you. Okay, so listen, guys. What we're going to be talking about today, we haven't talked about this in quite some time. All right. And I have to be a little careful about how I talk about it and how I mention certain involved or not involved parties. So just try to keep up with me. Okay. So you guys know, hey, it's Mama Mitchell. Nice to see you. AK, nice to see you as well. Busted Can of Biscuits, Spiteful Pinky Jean, Sassy Mama, Not Banana Enema, Teddy Pig. I feel like I forgot to say hi to everybody. I'll never catch up now. Hey, Scarletter, nice to see you. Crazy Cat Lady. Yamano, glad you're here. Nice to see you. So happy we're going back to the law coverage. Yes, okay. So justice for AK for sure. Banana Enema. For sure. Justice for AK. Which, by the way, I believe that is her her Cash App. But I think it's the number 4. If somebody could verify that for me. I'm sure Alex could drop. Alex, baby, could you drop AK's Cash App in the chat? Justice for AK. Okay, so listen. You guys know Hussey because of DC back in, when was that? 2023, was it already? 2023, DC thought she was going to be cute and clever and continue her pattern of behavior in taking people to court, taking internet people to court to try to get what orders of protection. I don't know. Here, look at me when I'm talking to you. So back 2023, DC thought she was going to be cute. She filed an EPO on Hussey in a Washington DC court. And then Hussey took to the internet and fundraised he found an attorney. He needed a $3,000 retainer and he got it. He was handed the $3,000 And he retained none other than Robert Maxwell, attorney at law, licensed to practice, I believe, in Washington, D.C. and is it North Carolina or South Carolina? I don't remember. I didn't do my hair today, so I just threw a hat on. Anyway, hires Robert Maxwell, and then DC just doesn't show up for the hearing. So that one was won by default. So what did Hussey do? Hussey, I guess. Thank you, Alex. I'm going to pin that. Hold on. Kimberlina, thank you for being a member for 16 months. Hashtag justice for AK. Yes. Hold on. Let me pin it. Pin message. Thank you. All right. Anyway, so yeah. So what did Hussey and Maxwell decide to do? Well, sue her. Sue her for slander, defamation, libel, whatever that was. And as you all know, DC settled the first case against with Hussey, settled the Washington DC case. It's so confusing because we call her DC and then we need to, differentiate between the Maryland court and the DC court. So I'll do my best. Anyway, so she settled the first case with Hussey out of Washington, DC, paid him $7,500. These are the terms of the settlement. And we know this now because Hussey and his attorney, Robert Maxwell himself, posted the details of it online and when they filed the next complaint. So anyway, so Hussey sues DC for slander, libel, defamation. They settle it. They get DC's boyfriend to also sign the settlement agreement to include a non-disparagement, non-disclosure clause, right? Thank you so much, Spiteful Pinky Jean, for the super chat. Ma'am, that ring should come with a warning. Looking directly at the diamond will likely cause blindness. I know, right? You should see this thing outside of the sun. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're so funny. Kimberlina, thank you again for being a member for 16 months. Did I put you on the board? Sent my notebook order today. Oh, okay, Crazy Cat Lady. Nice. Emotional Support Muffin, thank you for being a member for 32 months. Thank you, everybody. So, yes. So, what was it? DC's female boyfriend, I don't know, for whatever reason, that person agreed to be a party to the settlement and they agreed to the non-disparagement, non-disclosure. Hussey would take his $7,500 and piss off. Well, as you all know, they breached the settlement agreement almost immediately. And attorney Maxwell sent DC and her female boyfriend a demand letter, said you've already broken the non-disparagement agreement. We want another $2,500. So what they do, they paid it. They paid the $2,500. And then what did they do? I guess according to this complaint filed in the same Washington, D.C. court on March 18th, 2024, they continued to break the non-disparagement, non-disclosure agreement of the original settlement. And so Hussey and his attorney, Robert Maxwell, on March 18th, 2024, were left with no choice but to file a second complaint. So that complaint that was filed in the DC court, hold on. It was filed March 18th, 2024. Yeah. March 18th, 2024. But 10 days prior to that, on March 8th, 2024, Hussey, Robert Maxwell, and also Snifford filed their complaint against AK in the Maryland court. So March 8th, 2024 is when Hussey and Snifford filed their complaint against AK in Maryland. 10 days later, on March 18th, Hussey and Maxwell filed their breach of contract lawsuit against Clara and Clara's female boyfriend. Right? You forgot about female boyfriend. Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so yeah. So they shoot their shot at AK on the 8th of March. They file that in Maryland, which that's important. I realize, yeah, we know they filed against AK in Maryland. Everybody knows it's Maryland and DC, but it's very important, I feel like, to the bullshit that Hussey and Maxwell pulled in the DC case later, several months later, in September, to be exact. It's important to note that 10 days before they filed the breach of contract lawsuit in Washington, D.C., they filed the lawsuit against AK in Maryland. Yes, Maxwell copy and pasted the same thing onto AK's lawsuit in Maryland. Okay. So, right. And that's important because, all right, well, let's just continue going down the timeline. Okay. So, March 8th, Hussey and Maxwell file against AK in Maryland. March 18th, Hussey and Maxwell file the breach of contract against Ron and Clara. And it was only Ron and Clara named in the March 18th complaint. Okay, so those two complaints are filed in March. Nothing really of importance or of note really happens in the Washington, D.C. breach of contract suit until I believe it was July, which I don't know why I don't have that written on this page. I totally should, but I found it. I believe it was July that DC's boyfriend, female boyfriend, was removed from the breach of contract case. Let me just pull up the register of actions here because I don't want to get it wrong. Oops. Hussey versus, it's this one. Okay. So on July the 11th is when DC's boyfriend was dismissed from the case. Actually, it's right here. Let me bring up my screen share. Is Maxwell Hussey? No, Maxwell is Hussey's lawyer. So as far as the court's concerned, I mean, Maxwell represents Hussey. So as far as this case is concerned, yeah, anything Maxwell does or says in this case is coming from Hussey. Can you guys see my necklace? I feel like I'm hiding it behind my microphone. I'm wearing my Bodega X Boardroom black glitter on black t-shirt today. She sparkles, but the sun has gone behind the clouds. So you have to wait to catch the sparkle. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh, that's right. Share screen. Okay, so this is all I'm really interested in showing you here. July 12th, which it really happened on the 11th. That was the day of the hearing, but the motion was granted and it was put on the public facing website of the Washington, D.C. court on July 12th of last year. That defendant, this one, is dismissed. Ronald Corbin is dismissed. Okay, so the complaint was filed in March. Nothing really interesting happened until July when both sides, I guess, agreed to dismiss DC's boyfriend from the case. And we were like, makes sense, right? What does he have? Nothing. Everything either one of them has, it's all hers anyway, and whatever. We took note of it. We made note of it, but nobody really cared, right? We didn't spend a whole lot of time on it. Not a whole lot of time like pondering why would they let him off the hook, especially if he's the one who did the majority of the breaching of the contract. But I guess like we all just figured like he doesn't have anything, so what's the point, right? Anyway, Canadian Backwash Pondu, Brunette JC, thank you so much for joining members. A ton. Appreciate you. Make sure you take the custom emojis for a spin. Don't worry, I'll get more custom emojis. Things were really crazy like the last month solid between work and merch orders. And then I went out of town for my grandson's kindergarten graduation last Friday. Well, I was gone Thursday, Friday. So things were really crazy, but they're settling back down. That's why now I'm finally able to sit down and do a stream with you guys. But I'll get some more custom emojis. Don't you worry about it. Okay, where was I? Okay, so right. So they filed a suit in March. Ron is dropped off of it in July. And then the witness list for the Hussey versus Clara breach of contract lawsuit in Washington, D.C., the witness list is filed and published on September the 11th. Okay, so a little less than 2 months after Ron is dropped off of the lawsuit in July, the witness list is published. Okay, so on September 11th, the witness list is published. 12 days later, on September 23rd, Robert Maxwell files a motion to amend the complaint. So he tells the court, I want to amend this complaint. I want to add more shit to it, right? So that was on September 23rd. On October 10th, Maxwell files an amended motion to amend. However, the amended motion to amend, the only thing it says on the bottom of page 1, and this was filed October 10th. So the original motion to amend the complaint, petitioning the court to add shit to the complaint, was filed September 23rd. And then on the 10th, he refiled it, and it says this motion is amended solely to add the Rule 15 certificate, which is on page 5. So nothing more was added or asked for or, changed on the motion to amend the complaint on October 10th. They just added the Rule 15 certificate, which at first glance, you might look at that and be like, okay, that's just, a technicality. He forgot to add something on the last page. Like whatever, but we're going to come back to that. That's going to end up, in my opinion, and I'm no lawyer. Let me just start by saying that I'm no lawyer. What do I know? But I think this Rule 15 certification could potentially be an issue for Maxwell and Hussey. But we'll see. So we'll have to come back to that. So anyway, so the witness list was filed September 11th. Maxwell filed the motion to amend the complaint to add shit to the complaint on the 23rd. So that was 12 days later. So 12 days after the witness list is published, he wants to amend the complaint. So what is the amendment? All right. So the amended complaint that he filed, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the one from the 10th because it has that on there at the bottom. So that's fine. Hold on. Oops, I went too far. Actually, no. We're going to go back to the original complaint because there's some things I want to note about the original complaint. So the original complaint and the breach of contract, again, it was filed on Ron and DC, or DC and Ron. Okay. AK is not mentioned on this original complaint, which, again, I cannot stress enough. The original complaint was filed against Ron and DC. It was not filed on AK. Robert Maxwell and Hussey filed a whole separate lawsuit on AK in the state of Maryland. How many days? 10 days before they filed this. Yes, 10 days. Okay. So, but AK's name is in the original complaint that they filed on March 18th against DC and Ron for breach of contract. Her name is in there, right? Not as a defendant, though. Here's the complaint. Okay, so, oh, what the hell is that? Okay, so here's the complaint. I didn't mark like addresses and names out, and so I'm not going to show that, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Okay, so on this complaint filed on March 18th, it is Ken Chukachian versus Clara Frank and Ron Corbin. The complaint says plaintiff Ken Chukachian, I can't even say it now, hereinafter also referred to as the plaintiff, Mr. Tukachian or Hussey, by and through undersigned counsel, files his complaint against defendants Clara Frank, herein referred to as Defendant Frank or DC Media Girl, and Ronald Corbin, hereinafter referred to as Defendants Corbin, Negs Live, or Negs, and for his complaint states as follows. Okay, so are we clear? This complaint was filed against Clara Frank and Ronald Corbin, hereinafter referred to as Defendant Frank, Defendant Corbin, Negs Live, Negs, and DC Media Girl. Okay. So and it goes on, since last year, defendants have been actively using their social media accounts to willfully and deliberately engage in campaigns of harassment and defamation against Mr. Tukachian, blah, 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 blah. It talks about the original lawsuit. It talks about the original settlement. Okay, so on page 3, it says jurisdiction. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show this page. It's fine. Let me present. Share screen, this one. Okay. So right here it says jurisdiction. This is page 3. This court has jurisdiction over the subject matter of this complaint pursuant to DC code, blah, blah, blah. This court has personal jurisdiction over the defendants pursuant to DC code, blah, blah, blah. Jurisdiction is proper in this court, and that the events and transactions giving rise to the plaintiff's claims occurred while the parties signed a settlement agreement that is governed by, construed, and enforced in accordance with the laws of the District of Columbia. And jurisdiction is also proper in this court because the parties agreed when signing the agreement to have any and all disputes resolved in the District of Columbia. Okay, so parties. The parties agreed when signing the agreement. So what parties signed the agreement? Oh, look, it tells us right here. Parties. Plaintiff Ken Tukachian is a resident of New York and a citizen of the United States. Defendants Clara Frank is, upon information and belief, a resident of Indiana and a citizen of the United States. Defendant Ronald Corbin is, upon information and belief, a resident of Indiana and a citizen of the United States. So those are the parties. This is where they live. And this is the argument for jurisdiction for why this is being heard in Washington, D.C. Okay, statement of facts, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so where does AK come in, right? Here's the statement of facts. Talks about the plaintiff is an online content creator. Defendant Frank is this. Since last summer, defendants have maliciously and deliberately, okay. Defendant Frank, okay. That's Clara. Oh, here's more about Defendant Frank. Defendant Frank, Defendant Frank, Defendant Frank. Okay, makes sense, right? Defendant Frank, okay. Look, more on this date, Defendant Frank. On this date, Defendant Frank. On this date, okay, that makes sense. It all tracks. Then you get to page 8. Page 8, number 6. It all seems to appear that Frank is a part of a larger group of other digital content creators on the internet that act coordinately and with the intent to massacre Mr. Tukachian's image and defame him as much as possible. They call themselves the Bodega. Here are some examples of these organized attacks. On May 12th, 2023, in a Discord chat in which Frank and other members of the Bodega were participating, Frank told Afshan to find out where Mr. Tukachian went to high school and what he did before he started YouTube. Frank claimed Mr. Tukachian committed green card fraud and was lying about my vision loss. This is what an attorney wrote in the complaint. This right here on page 8, item number 6, paragraph A, referring to AK by her first name and her first name only. This is the first time her name appears in this complaint. Who the fuck is Afshan? Who the fuck is Afshan? Because then after this, after Maxwell slides AK's first name into page 8, item 6, paragraph A, then it is item after item, B, on May 23rd, 2023, Afshan Khalil. C, on June 25th, 2023, Afshan Khalil. Like, where the hell, where did all this come from? In a breach of contract lawsuit against Clara Frank and Rob Corbin in a Washington, D.C. courtroom. Why is all of this Afshan Khalil on this date, on this date, on this date in this complaint at all? For one, when was it that they settled the original case? I know it's in here. It says it in here. Okay, wait. Where? I know I seen it. I don't care. Whatever. Okay, we're back to the beginning. Hold on. Let me find it. So that is him saying how much he used to make. Where does it talk about the settlement? I don't know. Okay, so when was this originally settled? Was this originally settled in October of 2023? Shit the bed. Hold on. Genitalia Pondu, thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. That's right. Mrs. Yaba twice today, maybe 3 times. We'll never know. Okay, no, October 25th, 2023 was when it was originally settled. Okay. All right. This was the day that the original defamation, slander, libel lawsuit that Hussey filed against DC was settled. And that was the date that DC and Ron signed that agreement. Okay. So let's go back to page 8. That's prior to October 2023. This is prior. 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 All of this, even if you had a fucking reason to be bringing AK up in this lawsuit, everywhere AK's name appears in section 6 of this lawsuit, starting on page 8, all of it is before the original lawsuit was settled. So again, why is this in the breach of contract lawsuit? What the fuck does it have to do with the breach of the contract? What does AK have to do with the DC lawsuit or the contract or the breach of it? And spoiler, with the exception of, I believe, A, which is on May 12, 2023, in a Discord chat in which Frank and other members of the bodega were participating, Frank told Afshan to find out where Mr. Tukachian went to high school and what he did before he started YouTube. Frank claimed Mr. Tukachian committed green card fraud and was lying about my vision loss. Look at how sloppy are you, Victor? Victor, this is your sloppy work. And Maxwell, you're fucking lazy. How about that? Anyway, I don't believe this is in the AK lawsuit, but everything after it. Hold on. Was that page intentional? Was page 4 intentionally left blank? Maxwell, I've got to know. Here, yeah, starting with on page 6 of the Maryland lawsuit, defamatory statements pertaining to plaintiff Tukachian. So this is the Maryland lawsuit that Hussey and Gigi filed against AK 10 days before they filed the breach of contract lawsuit in DC against Ron and Clara. Let's see. Starting right here with B. On May 23rd, 2023, Afshan Khalil, a member of the bodega, falsely accused Mr. Tukachian of being a sex predator while on a live stream on YouTube with another streamer known online as Bad Boy Tragic. On page 6 of the Maryland lawsuit, paragraph 7, item A, on May 23rd, 2023, the defendant falsely accused Mr. Tukachian of being a sex predator while on a live stream on YouTube with another streamer known as Bad Boy Tragic. Okay. Next item C on the breach of contract DC lawsuit. On June 25th, 2023, Afshan Khalil hosted a live stream on a YouTube channel in which Mr. Chukachin was falsely accused of being a child molester, rapist, coward with yada, yada, yada. Oh, guess what? That happens to be the next item in the Maryland lawsuit that was filed 10 days prior. Continuing, D, in or about June of 2023. Oh, look at that. In the Maryland lawsuit filed 10 days before this, item C is in or about June 2023, defendant Khalil retweeted a mocked up sex offender poster with Ken's face, legal name, and former address on it. Subsequently, she claimed she did not, can you see? Can you see this? Because I did. I printed this one. I printed them all out. This is the Maryland lawsuit in my notebook. What's on the screen is the DC breach of contract lawsuit filed 10 days later. Why are all of these things being included in the Washington, D.C. breach of contract lawsuit that you filed against Ron Corbin and Clara Frank 10 days later? Why is all this about AK in the DC lawsuit? Why is all this in here? And if we go to the Maryland lawsuit, the one that is filed against AK, just like in the DC lawsuit where it says, where it gives jurisdiction and parties, we've got that in the Maryland lawsuit as well. So where's that? Oh, here it is. Jurisdiction and venue. Okay. In the Maryland case, the page for jurisdiction and venue reads this. The jurisdiction of the Circuit Court for Howard County in Maryland is proper pursuant to Maryland, whatever code, blah, blah, blah. Because defendant is domiciled in the state of Maryland and caused tortious injury to plaintiffs in the state of Maryland and or outside of the state of Maryland by an act or omission outside the state when regularly engaging in other persistent courses of conduct in the Howard County of Maryland, whatever the fuck that means. Okay. Mind you, this one in Maryland was filed 10 days before this one on screen in Washington, D.C. Hey, Tally, nice to see you. Further on jurisdiction and venue, it says the Circuit for Howard County has jurisdiction to hear this action pursuant to blah, blah code. 3, the venue of the Circuit Court for Howard County of Maryland is proper because a substantial part of the events and omissions giving rise to the plaintiff's claims occurred in this judicial district. The Circuit Court is proper because the court allows compensatory, declaratory, punitive, and injunctive reliefs. Finally, the venue of the Circuit Court for Howard County of Maryland is also proper because the Circuit Court has subject matter jurisdiction in lawsuits between citizens of different states. Then it goes on to list the parties, and the parties are plaintiff Ken Chukachin is a resident of New York and a citizen of the United States. Plaintiff Cliff Rebello is a resident of Florida and a citizen of the United States. Defendant Afshan Khalil is, upon information and belief, a resident of Maryland and a citizen of the United States. Okay, so Hussey and Attorney Maxwell, and what was the attorney's name? The one that they hired, Fupa Jones. Fupa Jones knows that AK lives in Maryland and that it's a Maryland court that has jurisdiction over her. Okay. Tally 420. Thank you so much for the super chat. Good to see you, skinny bitch. Good to see you, girl. I saw you come in the support group and then I feel like you snuck off because I mentioned your name and didn't see you again. It's totally fine. Glad you could be here now. Okay. So again, March 8th is when Hussey and Robert Maxwell And I say Hussey and Robert Maxwell because that Fupa Jones attorney that actually initially filed the March 8th complaint against AK in Maryland, that's Robert Maxwell's associate. I don't remember what the timeline was, but at some point down the line, after Fupa Jones filed this lawsuit against AK on behalf of Hussey and Snifford in Maryland, Robert Maxwell got brought in. He's now, is he or is he not an attorney of record on the case? Like, it's always been Robert Maxwell's case. You're not going to tell me that it cannot be proven that Robert Maxwell connected his clients, Hussey and Snifford, with his colleague, Fupa Jones, and that they did not talk about the case and work on the case together. That, you know, sure, Maxwell's been involved from the beginning. Okay, so I realized initially it was not Maxwell that filed the complaint in Maryland, but get out of my face with that shit. Okay. So yeah. So on March 8th, Maxwell and Fupa Jones, and of course, surely their clients knew that that they know it's a Maryland court that has jurisdiction over any and all of the things here, the things that they want to bring AK's name into, or about anything that they are claiming AK did to Hussey. All of these things, all of these, in all of these instances, all of these items, it is a Maryland court that has jurisdiction over AK for all of these things. And we know this because they filed the exact same complaint with the exact same complaints on her 10 days prior in fucking Maryland. So why is this shit even on this Washington, D.C. case, which is a breach of contract lawsuit between Hussey, Ron, and Clara? Why is this shit even in there? Why? I think I have an opinion on why. I think they always intended to bring AK to slithery sneak her ass, slide her into this DC case. One, because they knew they would probably get a default judgment, and they were right. They gambled on that. They bet on that horse, and they were right. Which brings me back to, remember when I told you how they let Ron out of the breach of contract case in July? And yeah, we noticed, but we were like, whatever, it's probably because poor broke loser, right? I think this is why they let Ron out of the case initially in July, because they knew they could file an amended complaint, bringing him back in, which would not raise any red flag, right? He was a named defendant when the original complaint was filed. Bringing him back in is not going to raise any red flags. Had they filed an amended complaint, and what they wanted to amend in the complaint was to bring Afshan Khalil in, well, that might raise a red flag, because this is a breach of contract lawsuit. Afshan Khalil was never a party to the original contract that was breached. Therefore, what is she doing in this case? There's no way this shit can be legal. There's no freaking way. Okay, so yeah, they filed the original complaint against AK in Maryland. So they know Maryland is the Maryland court is who has jurisdiction over AK for the exact same things that are in this Washington, D.C. filing. So how are you using the same exact things in two different courts of jurisdiction when only one court has jurisdiction? Like, it's not even like there's different shit that was put in the D.C. complaint that would somehow bring AK into it. It's the same shit, word for word, literally copy and pasted, that they are suing her for in Maryland. And Maryland is who has jurisdiction, and they know that because they wrote it in their own complaint right here. Pages 2 and 3. Jurisdiction and venue. Here, court, this is why we're coming to you with this complaint against this resident of Maryland. So why do you have her name in the Washington, D.C. lawsuit with the same exact shit? The same shit that you filed on her in Maryland. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so they file, the witness list gets filed on September 11th. Now, mind you, at this point, it is just all that's happened so far is the original complaints were filed in March. In July, Ron was dropped off. Nothing else has happened yet. Then the witness list gets published on September the 11th. 12 days later, 12 days after the witness list is published, Maxwell files his first motion to amend. I want to amend. I want to add shit in. Well, what is it that Maxwell wants to amend and add in to the complaint? Let me pull that up. Can you go away? Oh, hold on. Let me refresh this. I'm going to open the 1010 amended motion for leave to file amended complaint. Okay. So remember, I told you guys that the initial motion to amend the complaint was filed March 23rd, which is 12 days after the witness list was published. The only change to that amended motion to file amended complaint is that they added the Rule 15 certification. So for all intents and purposes, all of this shit they wanted to add in was the same as September 23rd. So nothing new had happened by October 10th. So let's go to this Rule 15 certificate that's on this document. The Rule 15 certificate says, hold on. Okay. The Rule 15 certificate says it is hereby certified that on this 23rd day of September 2024, counsel transmitted a request for consent to plaintiff's motion to amend as well as a phone call. No response has been received as of today, October 10th, 2024. So really, Alex? Okay, hold on. I want to come back to that. Okay, so Rule 15 certificate. So basically what I understand this to be is the Rule 15 must be where if one party, in this case, the plaintiff, so if the plaintiff wants to amend their complaint and add shit to it, right, after they've already filed it and after it's already been with the court for at this point 6 months and going through the process for 6 months, and the defendant has been paying their own counsel to defend themselves against the original complaint for 6 months. And now the plaintiff comes and says, hey, I want to amend. I want to add shit to it. I guess they have to request consent from the defendant. And they have to file a certificate saying, I requested consent to do this from the defendant's attorney. So that's what I understand this to be, right? So let's look at it again a little more closely. It is hereby certified that on this 23rd day of September 2024, counsel, so I guess that's Robert Maxwell, counsel transmitted a request for consent to plaintiff's motion to amend, which shouldn't these be capitalized or something? This is very, I don't know. I don't know the word for it. I just feel like there should be some more capitalization here. Midwest Bird Freak, thank you so much for being a member for 15 months. Okay. So counsel, Robert Maxwell, transmitted. So my question is transmitted where? How? To whom? Transmitted I feel like all this should be capitalized. A request for consent to plaintiff's motion to amend. And as well as a phone call. Like, what is a phone call? Who did you call? So you have to certify, Rule 15 says you have to certify that you filed a request for consent to file a motion to amend. So I can only assume that you have to transmit this request to the defendant's counsel, right? Okay. So who though? Because when you amend, when Maxwell amends this complaint, he brings not only Ron back into it, he brings AK into it. So when counsel, Robert Maxwell, transmitted his request as required by Rule 15, did he transmit it to Lucretia Johnson, attorney of record for defendants Corbin and Frank? I'm sure. In fact, I think there was that was included at some point in one of these filings. At the end of the filing, you can see where there was an email exchange between Robert Maxwell and Lucretia Johnson about, just this, the request for consent. Suzanne, the Swedish Yarny Hooker, thank you so much for being a member for 18 months. Shamrocks for sure. Justice for AK. That's right. Okay, so he transmitted this request, but yeah, my question is, who did you transmit it to? How did you transmit it? Was it an email? Was it a fax? Was it a courier pigeon? Was it by the U.S. Postal Service? Was it certified mail? Like, in what way did you transmit a request for consent to your motion to amend? And then as well as a phone call. Okay, a phone call to who? To who? To Lucretia Johnson? Is that who you called? Okay. No response has been received as of today, October 10th, 2024. No response from who? From Lucretia Johnson? Okay. All right. So let's just give Maxwell the benefit of the doubt. And it's Lucretia Johnson is who he's certifying to the court that he transmitted his request to in some unknown reason or in some unknown manner, unsure of the manner in which he transmitted his request. But we'll take him for his word that he transmitted a request. And that he placed a phone call to Lucretia Johnson. Okay, well, what the fuck does that have to do with Afshan Khalil? That is not AK's attorney of record in any state. Most certainly not Washington, D.C. By September 23rd, 2024, though, Robert Maxwell, which, by the way, is whose name is signed to this, Robert Maxwell. Oh, certainly by September 23rd, 2024, Robert Maxwell knew who AK's attorney in Maryland is though, right? What's her attorney's name in Maryland? I don't remember. But it's not as if they would not know how to transmit something. And I realize, again, well, AK wasn't a party to the case in DC. So they wouldn't have to transmit anything according to Rule 15 to AK's lawyer. Because she's not a defendant. Exactly. She's not a defendant in the case. So who would Robert Maxwell transmit a request for consent to amend the complaint to? So I feel like this could potentially be problematic for Robert Maxwell and his client. Maybe one day. I don't know. Okay, so this is the amended complaint. All right. So originally filed September 23rd, 2024, 12 days after they filed their witness list. Now, remember in the original complaint over here, this is the original complaint. I showed you how AK's name was first mentioned in the original complaint on page 8, right here. And it doesn't refer to her as defendant, Afshan Khalil. She's not a named defendant. She's not a named party in the case. As you can see here in the document itself, jurisdiction and parties, Ken Chukachian, Clara Frank, Ronald Corbin, and no Afshan Khalil. Okay, but on page 8, suddenly, not only does her name appear, but for whatever reason, Robert Maxwell copied and pasted the complaint from the Maryland case into this one. And so that is why we do see Afshan Khalil's name in the original complaint. Now it does say on page 11, now this is page 11 of the original DC breach of contract suit, the very last paragraph in section 6 where Afshan Khalil AK's name first is mentioned. The very last section is page 11, paragraph. Is that L? I don't know, whatever. It says, this endless thread of defamatory statements and online harassment left Mr. Tukachian and other victims of the bodega with no other option but to file a civil claim against Afshan Khalil in the Circuit Court for Howard County in the state of Maryland in 2024. See case number, blah, blah, blah. It's all there. Ken Tukachian et al., which means, and everyone else, versus Afshan Khalil, which I find this hilarious because I just saw, I think, Alex, I think it was one of your things where I just seen somewhere where Snifford said that his case and Hussey's case are two separate cases. He says Hussey has his case and I have my case. No, you don't. Sir, you don't have a separate case from Hussey's. This is you, bro. This is you. This is your separate case. It's not a separate case. This is you. This is Hussey's case against AK, and this is you. You're the et al. All right. You tacked yourself on like you've done your entire fucking life. And that's why nobody likes you. Anyway, not significant. Okay. So this is where Maxwell does disclose to Washington, D.C., the court, that he has filed a claim against AK. And this is where Robert Maxwell admits to the Washington, D.C. court that he knows full fucking well that the court that has jurisdiction over AK is the Circuit Court for Howard County in the state of Maryland. See, Judge, Washington, D.C. Judge, I know that the proper venue and jurisdiction for any causes of action my client wants to bring against AK belong in the Circuit Court for Howard County in the state of Maryland court. Okay, so this is the original complaint, all right? So in the original complaint, this is there, right? Like this is our whole case against AK. And yes, we filed it in the Maryland court because that has jurisdiction over her. Okay, great. Now, fast forward, this was March. All right. March, what was it? I forget. March 8th, 2024. I'm sorry. March 18th, 2024. This was filed in DC. Fast forward to, I know that says October 10th, but really it was September 23rd. Fast forward to September 23rd. And we have this amended complaint in Washington, D.C. breach of contract lawsuit. So this is Ken Tukachian plaintiff, Clara Frank et al. Defendants. There's that et al. Again, which means basically, and everybody else. Well, who is and everybody else? Oh, that's right. We remember it was Ron Corbin, only he got dropped from this lawsuit 2 months ago in July. Remember? Okay. So, amended motion for leave to file amended complaint. Plaintiff Ken Tukachian, by and through undersigned counsel, respectfully moves this honorable court for leave to amend his complaint pursuant to Rule 15A of the Superior Court Rules of Civil Procedure. In support of this motion, plaintiff states as follows. Introduction. Plaintiff seeks to amend his complaint to incorporate significant and material facts that have been revealed since the filing of the original complaint. These facts include recent statements and conduct by defendant Ronald Corbin and new revelations about defendant Afshan Khalil's witness tampering activities. When in the fuck did Afshan Khalil become a defendant in the Washington, D.C. breach of contract lawsuit between Hussey, Clara, and Ron? This is the first, this right here, on the amended complaint, the first time ever you see Afshan Khalil referred to as defendant Afshan Khalil in the DC case. Anywhere. Again, I am no lawyer, but I just don't think you can do this. I don't think you can just say, And do you see how she just got slid back in there when he brought Ron back in after letting Ron out 2 months prior, not even 2 months prior. Well, maybe 2 months. Crazy. And then it goes on to say, so it says, these facts include recent statements and conduct by defendant Ronald Corbin and new revelations about defendant Afshan Khalil's witness tampering activities. These actions directly violate the non-disparagement clause of the settlement agreement between the parties. Directly violates the non-disparagement clause of which AK was no party to. Directly violates the non-disparagement clause of the settlement agreement between the parties. There was no settlement agreement between this party. You see how he is, in my opinion, knowing all of the facts of both of these cases that I have covered since day one in their entireties, reading every document, watching every hearing that has been broadcast. It is my opinion that this is some slick shit. Maxwell misleading the court into believing that AK was a party or a defendant in this case at some prior point. Because the original complaint in March, why were all those paragraphs about AK in there? Had nothing to do with it. Jordy, City of Thieves, thank you for being a member for 9 months. I love that you're covering this. Thank you, Sam. Thank you. He's intermingling things in bad faith. I agree, Deli Snitch. I agree with your opinion there. Lisa says he's blurring the lines. Yes, I agree with that as well. And when asked to prove how AK was a party to the agreement, he will be completely unable and the complaint will be dismissed outright. Let's hope, Fauntleroy, it's not too late for that. Hey, girl, hey, says trying to pull a sneaky quick one. Slimy as fuck. Agreed. Same thing he did in the hearing. He says it's for witness tampering. The judge says, wait, that's not what's on the paperwork. So Maxwell just changes it on the fly. Exactly. And you'll see throughout all of these complaints and all of these motions, he's only really accusing AK of this witness tampering. And like Lisa said, and I'm going to play the hearing. We're about to play it. We're going to watch it. He says in court at last Friday's hearing that he's there for a default judgment against AK for witness tampering. Judge says, nope, your paperwork don't say witness tampering. Your paperwork says this, 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 and this. And Maxwell just says, okay, and continues with the hearing. Exactly. Hussey straight up had no evidence. The judge said there's no witness tampering on the docket. No, there's not. Okay. So it says these actions directly violate the non-disparagement clause of the settlement agreement between the parties and are central to plaintiff's claim of defamation, breach of contract, and interference with the legal process. Like, okay. Again, so what does any of this have to do with AK? Here is, okay, so page 2, good cause for amendment. The newly discovered facts are material and go to the heart of plaintiff's claims specifically. I don't care about that one. Let's look at this one. Defendant Khalil's witness tampering. New evidence has emerged showing that defendant Khalil has engaged in a deliberate and systematic campaign to tamper with witnesses who were expected to provide testimony or evidence favorable to plaintiff in this matter. On September 10th, 2024, after plaintiff filed his witness list, defendant Khalil opened a public live stream where she exposed the identities of these witnesses and issued threats, including that they would face consequences if they testified in favor of Mr. Choukachian. This right here, Maxwell, is a big fat fucking lie. Goofy dumb, goofy hoe bitch. Thank you for being a member for 34 months. Is the judge asleep? Why isn't she asking who the fuck is AK and isn't she in Maryland? Yeah, exactly. I mean, if the judge is reading these motions and complaints filed by a licensed barred attorney and that attorney is referring to a party as defendant, I mean, I think the judge just takes it at face value and trusts the attorney that the people named in the documents that they're referring to as defendant are actually defendants in the fucking case. Deja Blue TC, thank you for being a member for 15 months. You can't change the rules in the middle of the game. You have to have tangible evidence, and the attorney has nothing. Zip, zilch. Also, 15 months, baby. That's right, girl. This evidence was never presented to the courts, but their slander remains. I never said or did any of that. No. First of all, Maxwell, AK did not live stream on September the 10th of 2024. Yet it says here that on September the 10th, 2024, defendant Khalil opened a public live stream where she exposed she didn't stream on September the 10th, 2024. Would you be surprised to hear that, Robert Maxwell? Do you believe that I'm right in my fact checking? Would you be shocked to hear that AK did not live stream on September the 10th of 2024? So where did you get this from? Where did you get this information from? Did you get this information from your client, Mr. Chukachian? Is that where you got that information from? I mean, it's just the details, just the little details. All right. So on September 10th, after plaintiff filed his witness list, defendant Khalil opened a public live stream where she exposed the identities of these witnesses and issued threats indicating that they would face consequences if they testified in favor of Mr. Chukachian. Now, spoiler, and last Friday, May 30th, was the day that these accusations were finally going to be heard. And that was the day that Hussey and Maxwell had to bring their evidence to the court, regarding these accusations to prove it to the court. They brought exactly 3 exhibits to the hearing on May 30th. All 3 of them were clips from live streams. The first one, Exhibit A, was a clip from a live stream dated October 21st, 2024. So it was not that one. Exhibit B was a live stream from a date that was not September 10th, 2024, but it was a live stream wherein Alex and AK did go over the witness list for Hussey's case that was published to the Washington, D.C. public court website on September 10th. So that would be that one. So they did bring a clip about this accusation. And then Exhibit C was from a live stream dated October 9th, 2024. And that was a picture of Belinda Carroll that they made fun of. And we're going to look at those. Okay. So further investigation has revealed, mind you, though, let's go back to these exhibits that they brought, shall we? And the timeline. Okay. So the witness list was filed on September the 11th. The motion to amend the complaint was filed September 23rd. So that's 12 days time. So the motion to amend, this is the amended complaint. Okay. The amended complaint was filed September 23rd. All right. So the amended complaint has all of the accusations that they are bringing against AK, specifically to witness tampering and specifically to this case, right? So wouldn't that lead you to believe then that if the witness list was filed September the 11th and she's being accused of witness tampering, then the only things that they would be accusing her of would have taken place on or after September 11th, the day that the witness list was filed. Okay. But the motion to amend was filed September 23rd. So they had already seen AK's witness tampering and decided to make a motion to amend the complaint to include AK's witness tampering by September 23rd. Are you following me? So all of the evidence that Hussey and Maxwell should have brought to the hearing about AK's witness tampering would have had to have occurred between September 11th, when the witness list was filed, and September 23rd, when the motion to amend the complaint was filed. Yes or no? Yes. So then how is it when it finally comes to hearing in May, when they're finally in front of the judge asking for $50,000 from AK for witness tampering, okay, and witness tampering that they tattled to the court. I don't say tattle, but witness tampering that they petitioned the court to include into the complaint on September 23rd. So how do two of their exhibits take place after September 23rd? Two of your exhibits, two of your three pieces of evidence to prove that AK witness tampered between September 11th, when you disclosed the witnesses, and September 23rd, when you filed your motion to amend, which included your accusations. How do 2 out of 3 of your pieces of evidence occur in October? In October, how? Why are you bringing exhibits to prove claims that you're making in your amended complaint that happened after you filed your amended complaint? I don't get it. Sounds like a whole bunch of bullshit. Witness tampering on a case that's already been settled. Okay, so I found that to be interesting. Even the amended motion to amend, which was dated October 10th, but they said on the document itself that they only amended it to include the Rule 15 certificate. So the date is still September 23rd. So you alleged that she witness tampered between September 11th and September 23rd, but 2 out of your 3 pieces of evidence occurred in October. He knew AK wasn't going to show up to defend what they did because AK was never served. He knew AK wasn't going to show up to defend what they said she did. Exactly. Because she was never served. Exactly. And they know she wasn't served. Okay. So the motion to amend was granted on November 19th. And then the amended complaint was actually filed with the court November 20th. But the motion to amend, it's the same thing. It's all the same shit. Okay. Further investigation has revealed that Khalil has actively intimidated and attempted to influence witnesses against supporting plaintiff. This includes entering online forums and social media groups where potential witnesses were present, spreading false narratives, and discouraging open discussions about the case. Where's your evidence as to any of that? Which one of these exhibits A, B, or C demonstrates that? Khalil has also reached out to individuals known to be in contact with plaintiff by sending direct messages and emails that contained veiled threats and attempts to discredit plaintiff, thereby influencing these individuals to refrain from providing truthful information. Where's that evidence? Why didn't you bring the direct messages and emails that contained veiled threats? Hold on a second. Okay, babe. Where's your evidence for that? You literally are right here. Oh, sorry, wrong screen. This one. Wait. Am I sharing the wrong damn tab the whole time? Not the whole time. Okay, anyway. Look, Khalil has also reached out to individuals known to be, I need to move it over. Sorry, guys. Known to be in contact. Can I close that? What the fuck? Get out of here. I don't need that either. Whatever. Okay, I'll make it smaller. Hold on. I didn't realize it looked like that. Let me scoot over here too. All right. Oh, that is better. Okay. Anyway, you reached out to individuals known to be in contact with plaintiff by sending direct messages and emails, yet they did not bring the direct messages or the emails to court on May 30th. That's not what they brought. That all three of their exhibits were clips from live streams. And then it says, while it is not yet confirmed whether Khalil has directly contacted witnesses, her actions have created a hostile environment, deterring witnesses from cooperating with plaintiff and thereby undermining the legal process. These additional facts are crucial for the proper adjudication of this case. They show that defendants have acted in bad faith and with a willful intent to harm plaintiff, despite the prior settlement intended to resolve these issues. So Maxwell could have and should have, if he were not deliberately trying to blur the lines. Oh, I thought maybe I lost my signal. In my opinion, if Maxwell were not deliberately trying to blur the lines and mislead the court into believing that AK was a party to the prior settlement, then right here is where he would have made it very clear to the court and specified defendants Frank and Corbin have acted in bad faith and with a willful intent to harm plaintiff, despite the prior settlement intended to resolve these issues. And then this right here, this next sentence that just goes on from there, makes me believe even more that they're being deliberately misleading and blurring the lines, because it goes right into it just ties AK right into the prior statement. This statement right here does not pertain to AK. She's not involved in this. They show that defendants have acted in bad faith and with a willful intent to harm plaintiff, despite the prior settlement intended to resolve these issues. And then they tie AK by name into that. Furthermore, Khalil's witness tampering raises serious concerns about the integrity of the judicial process and the administration of justice. Again, there's an argument here saying, see, once again, when AK's name is mentioned, it's always regarding witness tampering. Yet the May 30th hearing was not heard for witness tampering. Goofy dumb, goofy hoe bitch. Thank you so much for the super chat. There's your witness. How is it not confirmed? They're your witnesses. How is it not confirmed? Exactly. Exactly. So in this amended complaint, again, here's AK's name with witness tampering. They're talking about AK having contact with witnesses. AK reaching out to individuals known to be in contact with plaintiff by sending direct messages and emails, yet they brought none of those with them as any of their evidence. Again, here is AK's name in coordination with the witnesses, the witness list. And then here, defendant Khalil's witness tampering. Okay, so witness tampering, witness tampering, witness tampering. That is what the amended complaint, every time AK's name is seen in this amended complaint, it is directly linked with witness tampering, right? Okay. Wait, let me just close this lest I accidentally go to that tab. I do not want to do that. All right, share this tab instead. This is the May 30th hearing. This is the judge. We've got Hussey in this square, and we've got his attorney, Robert Maxwell. I'm just going to play it. Well, I don't know. I might have some shit to say. We'll see. Kimberly, thank you so much for being a member for 16 months. Shamrocks, you missed your calling, Samantha. Maybe, or maybe this is it. You know, maybe this is my whole calling. I don't know. Here we go. By the way, I'm going to say this very clearly. This is not my recording of this proceeding. This is a video that is on YouTube. that was obtained by somebody else. I don't even know who. All I know is it is publicly available on YouTube. So not my recording. I wasn't even there. All right. I was at my grandson's kindergarten graduation on this day at this time, as a matter of fact. All right, here we go.
Parties identify themselves for the record.
Ken Chukachian.
Crazy cat lady says Samantha fine tooth comb Jean. So funny.
Good morning, Your Honor. Robert Max, representing Mr. Chukachian.
And is there an Afshan Khalil present? Okay, the defendant has failed to appear in this matter. There's a plaintiff's motion for default judgment that was filed on April 28, 2025. And the matter is set for an ex parte proof hearing. Are you still asking for a default judgment, Mr. Maxwell?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to go back and listen to this again. AK, I'm glad you're in here. So she did say, are you still asking for a default judgment? So there has been no ruling on the default judgment. So there's no default judgment against AK at this time. It's under advisement. So that's important. Because I feel like, and I don't know because I don't watch Hussey, but I feel like Hussey's kind of been portraying this as if he already got the default judgment and that this hearing was just for them to go and tell the judge all of the mean things that AK did and how much money they want for it. But I don't think that's the case. So she literally said, are you still asking for a default judgment? So in this hearing, Maxwell and Hussey are asking for a default judgment. All right. Goofy Dumb Goofy Old Bitch says, was AK even served? As far as I understand, AK says she was never served for this. However, Robert Maxwell did file a certification with the court. I guess that the court was satisfied with the certification stating that she had been served, I guess, at her parents' house. The service processor report put in his certification report that the documents were given to a Caucasian male at the residence. Now, I think we all know that. Hold on. Oh, okay. You know what? It just reminded me. We've not. Okay, sorry. I saw a text that I thought was about something we were waiting to hear about, and that's not it. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Described me as a Caucasian male. I think we all know that AK's dad's not Caucasian, so that's interesting. Did they have the right house? Are they sure? Did they have any photos? Was there video? You know? I seem to recall, in previous instances of people being served in civil actions that there was some sort of video or photo evidence of the such. And it's my understanding there's not that either. So I don't know. All right. Okay. So Alex says Hussey keeps saying he got the default judgment. That's what I thought too. But we just heard bop, bop. I'm going to bop it back. We just heard the judge ask him, are you asking for a default judgment? And they're saying, yes, we are asking for that. And there was no ruling at the end of this hearing. So no, there has not been a default judgment ordered in this case. AK says, I was not served properly. There you have it. Goofy Dumb Goofy Ho Bitch says, why not just serve her attorney? That's a great question, Goofy Dumb Goofy Ho Bitch. That is a great question, especially considering by Robert Maxwell's own admission and also was it Fupa Jones, they have admitted in these documents that they have filed a case against AK in Maryland and they know who her attorney is. Yes, why not just serve her through her attorney? That's an excellent question, Goofy Dumb Goofy Ho Bitch.
To appear in this matter, there's a plaintiff's motion for default judgment that was filed on April 28, 2025. And the matter is set for an ex parte proof hearing. Are you still asking for a default?
Ex parte, by the way, I heard that Hussey explained that he understands ex parte means he's already won and that this is just a hearing to find out how much money he gets. Is that what I heard? That's not what that means. Ex parte simply means one party, right? Pretty sure it just means one party. And as you can see only one party's here. And why would it be one party? Well, because it's a one party hearing because they're asking for a default judgment, and they're asking for default judgment because the other party never responded. So one party. That's what it means, hussy.
Judgment. Mr. Maxwell.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and are you ready to
Oh, wait,
proceed with
sorry.
judgment? This
Hold
matter
on.
is set for an ex parte proof hearing. Are you still asking for a default judgment? Mr. Maxwell.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and are you ready to proceed with the hearing?
Okay. Ex parte proof hearing. There's a reason the word proof is in there, right? Ex parte proof hearing. One party proof hearing. One party gets to show their proof. So this was it. This was Maxwell and Hussey's opportunity to show proof to the court of why they should get a default judgment and why AK did what they said she did and should pay this man $50,000 fucking dollars. Ex parte means without the other parties present. Yes, one party. Or excluding a party, so it means without the other party's presence. Okay, well, I guess it's not the same thing technically.
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
How many witnesses do you anticipate presenting?
Just one.
Just
And how-
one witness. So it's a witness tampering case, a claim in which they're claiming that AK harassed several of Hussey's witnesses to the point to where they were scared and were uncomfortable and unsure if they would go forward being their witnesses, yet they didn't call any of them to testify to this. But none of that matters. That's moot because, well, I'll let the judge tell you why that don't matter.
How long do you anticipate the hearing to take?
About 30 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe.
And are you asking, what are you asking for at the end of the hearing? I guess specifically, there was a complaint for 4 separate issues. Are you asking?
4 separate issues. Did you hear that? She said there's a complaint to 4 separate issues.
For relief as to all 4?
Well, this one is specifically on the witness tampering against Mrs. AK.
This one, he says, she's like, do you want really a judgment on all 4 of these issues? He says, oh, this one's just about witness tampering against, he calls her Mrs. AK. He calls her Mrs. AK.
It's Khalil. And so we're requesting monetary judgment of $50,000.
Okay, witness tampering.
I can't believe he can even fucking say that with a straight face. I can't. He could barely get out with a straight face. I could tell it.
We're requesting monetary judgment of $50,000.
Okay, witness tampering was not specifically listed in the complaint.
Witness tampering was not specifically listed in the complaint.
There is an intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil harassment, torturous interference with a prospective advantage, and cyber stalking. So
Okay, let's go back.
it's an intentional, okay, witness tampering was not specifically listed in the complaint. There is an intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil harassment,
Civil harassment.
torturous interference with a prospective advantage, and cyber stalking. So
Wow. Tortious interference with an
is an
advantage.
intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil harassment, torturous interference with a prospective advantage, and cyber stalking. So which of the causes of action are you proceeding on, and what relief are you asking for as to each of them?
Okay, so never. You guys saw that was the motion for the amended complaint. The actual amended complaint does have more in it, but nowhere does it link AK to intentional infliction of emotional distress, civil harassment, tortious interference, advantage, or cyber stalking. Nowhere.
All 4 just on monetary judgment.
He says all 4, Your Honor.
Is your first witness?
Mr.
Okay, we'll have him take an oath.
Honestly, all firms successfully do the court we do the budget true.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Ken Chukashian. It's KenChookhAChian.
And what do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a YouTube vlogger, online creator.
And are you familiar with the defendant, Ms. Khalil?
Yes, I am.
And how are you involved in this case?
Well, this case is originally a lawsuit that I had with Clara Frank, and she got a hold of my witnesses for the case and started to threaten, harass, and defame them.
Okay. And can you tell us generally what happened?
Yes. So ever since my witness list has become public, she basically streams. She's also a content creator. She streams and she put the list of all of my witnesses on her show, and one by one, she slandered and defamed and threatened them, their spouses, their job, their safety. This has been ongoing until this very day. She still continues to go after my witnesses. She put all of their names on her show, and she went one by one down the list.
Okay. You know, sir, I'm going to show what I've marked as Plaintiff Exhibit A. Now, sir, I'm going to play a little bit of it for authentication purposes.
Okay.
Sir, do you recognize the individual in this video?
Yes. On the top left, that's Afshan Khalil.
And have you seen this video before?
Yes.
And can you tell us what this video is?
I think this is the one where she says that she's going to show the floor plan of the apartment. She is going to do go IRL into their real life, and if we want to sue her, go ahead and sue her. She doesn't care. I think this is that particular video.
Okay. Yes, sir. I'm going to play the entire video real quick.
Goofy dumb, goofy hoe bitch. Thank you so much for the super chat. Witness tampering is a criminal charge. Why does he think he can get money? I honestly think he just banked on getting a default judgment.
Okay.
Yes, this hearing was just last Friday, May 30th. I'm going to bop forward because he didn't turn the sound on.
Okay, defense A is admitted.
I didn't hear it.
How did you obtain that video?
That was from her show. By the way, Mr. Maxwell, I didn't hear the video.
Yana, did you hear the video?
We didn't hear any sound.
No, there was no sound.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the button wasn't checked for sound. So I'm just going to play it one more time.
You're literally doing this. Like, you know, and I
Do you hear sound now?
It's low.
Yes.
It's very low.
I'm sorry, sir. Let me just, when he's asking questions, let me answer, please. So,
Yeah, Hussy, shut up.
I did hear the sound.
Okay.
you're literally doing this. Like, You know, and I don't know what you're collecting in your little notebook and your little fucking Word document you're about to send out to whomever, but you're not scaring me with your bullshit. If you're gonna file something, do it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Or I'll keep touring your family's houses, or then your friends, and then your relatives and their relatives. I'll find it. And if I don't do that, if I don't do that, I'll find some other way to fuck with you. Okay? I have endless fucking ways to fuck with you. I'm very imaginative. So keep it up.
Thank you, sir. And I'm now showing you what's marked as plaintiff exhibit B.
I'm sorry, I'm
My
having a
que-
tough time hearing you.
My question is, who is she talking to in that clip? Hold on. I want to tap that back. I want to listen to just the clip because who is she talking to? Okay, let's see.
You're literally doing this. Like, and I
Do you hear sound now?
It's low,
Yes.
it's very low.
I'm sorry, sir. Let me just, when he's asking questions, let me answer, please. So, I did hear the sound.
Okay.
you're literally doing this. Like, and I don't know what you're collecting in your little notebook and your little fucking Word document you're about to send out to whomever, but you're not scaring me with your bullshit. If you're gonna file something, do it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. Or I'll keep touring your family's houses, or then your friends, and then your relatives and their relatives. I'll find it. And if I don't do that, I'll find some other way to fuck with you. Okay? I have endless fucking ways to fuck with you. I'm very imaginative. So keep it up.
Yeah, who was she talking to? First of all, that's not AK over here. That's a photograph of somebody who looks like it's AK, but she's not on camera. Who was she talking to? And AK, I've seen where you said this was from 2023, but it's not. This is from 2024. I have the stream, the original stream, just so you know. Yeah, but that's the clip. That's their exhibit A. Who is AK talking to? What is she talking about? That's very, very, very weak evidence. No, this was 2024. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Well, okay, they have it dated 2024. See, look, hold on. Let me go back. Oh, hold on.
So I'm just going to play it one more time.
Okay, see right here? It says October 21st, 2024, threat to intimidate. That's what they have it dated. Let me go here. Just give me a second. I meant to do this earlier and I forgot. Hey. I think you're right. I don't think it is October 21, 2024 because I'm looking at that stream and that is not what this is. Yeah, but you said if you're gonna something to the effect of if you're gonna fucking file something, just file it. And you know what I find interesting, AK, is this. Of their 3 exhibits, that is and you'll see that's the only one where in the clip,
You're literally
like where it's clipped, you can't see the actual like name of the stream, the channel, or nothing. I will say this though. This is that Jack in the Box, which is our dog, Jack. So it couldn't have been 2023. It had to have been early 2024. Not October. Do you think it was December? Okay, December 2023. Okay, let me write that down. This one. Okay, December 2023. Yeah, that's totally possible with that Jack in the Box thing would have been December. Yeah, December or January. Okay, but not October 21st, 2024. That's for sure. That's for sure. But like I said, this is the only one where you could not see in the actual clip that they played the name of the stream. Is it from Belinda's stream? Maybe she was playing in October so they could use it as evidence. Yeah, the way it's cropped is highly suspect. What's this over here? I wonder, is this part of the clip? Let me
Doing
see.
this, like,
See this?
you
Can
know,
y'all see my
and I-
pointer?
Do you hear?
Shut up. Can y'all see my pointer? See how, like, there's this black box here still? I wonder what that is. Yes, that is Belinda's emoji, but this is AK and Alex, and they're reviewing a stream of Belinda and Gigi. Now this though, this where it says screen recording, this is going to be, I'm going to assume Alex's screen recording, right? So this date is going to be right. So that, oh, there it answers it right there. February 17th, 2024. So February 2024. Well, that's crazy because February 2024 is, oh, let me do the math here. What's 9 minus 2? 7. That is 7 months before the witness list came out. So your exhibit A is fraudulent. It's misleading. It's not what you presented to the court that it was. Because how on fucking earth can this live stream, here it is, that's dated right here, February 17th, 2024. How could she have been tampering your witnesses in this clip? How? I'm pretty sure I'm talking about a live stream on Tragic's channel where he toured Gigi's parents' neighborhood online. Yeah, and that's who you're talking to. You're right. You're right. Belinda and Gigi. Sorry about that, AK. You are right. Yeah, that's who you're talking. So that's who you're talking to. That was my question. Who is she talking to? She's talking to Gigi and Belinda, but specifically Gigi because it was Gigi's parents' house you toured online. Is Gigi a named witness? Was he a named witness on September the 11th, 2024 in the Washington, D.C. breach of contract lawsuit? No, he wasn't. And you would have had to have been talking about Gigi if you were talking about I'll keep touring your parents' houses. So you were talking to Gigi, not Belinda. Talking to Gigi in February of 2024, 7 months before the witness list came out, on which Gigi's name wasn't listed. Belinda's was, but still, this live stream that you presented as evidence on May 30th occurred 7 months before the witness list came out. So how is it witness tampering? Furthermore, I think this is a really important key point that Maxwell is just banking on the court not knowing or being able to put together is every single person on that witness list, including David, every person that AK spoke about who's on the witness list, every person she had something to say about, such as referring to one witness as suffering from cocaine-induced dementia. All of those people are people known to AK prior to any of these lawsuits being filed, right? These are all people that she knew of, that she has spoken on and of, people that she's reviewed, people she's done live streams about, people she's talked about long before any of these lawsuits were ever filed. So it's not as if the people on the witness list were, it's not like, AK sees this witness list, doesn't know who any of these people are, and looks into their information and exposes their identities and starts saying things to and about them that she didn't already have prior knowledge, right? Everybody already knew that Fedora said out of her own mouth that she had cocaine induced dementia, right? So these people were not talked about and these things were not said about them because they were witnesses, named as witnesses on your witness list. Like, she's already been saying this shit about these people before they were named as witnesses. But you're leading the court to believe that the only reason AK is saying these things about these people and talking about these people is because they're witnesses for you and she's trying to intimidate them. No. And I mean, she can prove easily she can prove that she talked mad shit on every single one of those motherfuckers on that list way before their names ever appeared on that list, and said the same shit about them before they were named as witnesses on the list. So nice fucking try. This is why I'm saying perjury for payday, motherfucker. Misleading the court, perjury for payday. What else did my thumbnail say? I don't even remember. But y'all know good and goddamn well, Maxwell and Hussey, all y'all know that AK has been known about these people. She's been talking shit about these people long before they were named as witnesses in your ridiculous ass lawsuit. You're full of shit. Maxwell, you're full of shit. Hussey, you're full of shit. And those witnesses made it their full-time job to harass her too. Fedora never stopped talking shit. Exactly. I'd like to know which of these witnesses. Exhibit A was a clip from 7 months before the witness list was filed, and she was talking to and about somebody who was not named witness. All right. Cliff Rebello. That's who she was talking to and about in this clip from 7 months prior to the witness list being published. So we can throw your Exhibit A in the fucking trash. Exhibit B. Okay, let's go on to Exhibit B. That's where she puts the witness list on screen.
Your
So
sound now?
let's move forward to that.
It's low.
Yes.
It's very low.
I'm sorry, sir. Let me just, when he's asking questions, let me answer, please. So, I did hear the sound.
Okay.
You're
Yeah,
literally
Belinda sure wasn't scared before when I called her ugly. Also, AK says I'm literally repeating things they've said about themselves, and Hussey knows that. She does.
doing this. Like, and I don't know what you're collecting in your little notebook and your little fucking Word document you're about to send out to whomever, but you're not scaring me with your bullshit. If you're going to file something, do it. Otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so that would have been in February of 2024, and he filed his lawsuit in March of 2024. Sniffer did against you. Well, I'm sorry. Hussey filed. Sniff added himself on, and they filed against you the following month in Maryland, the court that does have jurisdiction over you.
Or I'll keep touring your family's houses, and then your friends, and then your relatives and their relatives. I'll find it. And if I don't do that, if I don't do that, I'll find some other way to fuck with you. Okay?
Yeah, he didn't even file the breach of contract lawsuit until after the clip.
I have endless fucking ways to fuck with you. I'm very imaginative. So keep it up.
Exactly, not Banana Enema. That's a really good point. She even says, you're trying to scare me, so this is my reaction. The judge should have asked why he was trying to scare her. Although this particular clip has nothing to do with anybody involved in that case. She's not talking to Hussey. She's not talking about Hussey. She's not talking to Hussey's witnesses. She's not talking about Hussey's witnesses. She's talking to Snifford, and this was on a date before their lawsuit was even filed. So what does this have to do with anything in the under the Washington, D.C. court's jurisdiction? It doesn't. There's nothing. There's nothing there. Robert Maxwell, you're being real fucking sloppy, bro. What are you doing letting Hussey walk your ass into a world of fucking trouble with this here judge? Because that's what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. And I'm now showing you what's been marked as plaintiff exhibit B.
I'm sorry, I'm having a tough time hearing you.
Is the court having trouble hearing me, Your Honor?
No.
Sir, please try to turn your audio up.
It should be better.
Okay. So I'm now showing what's marked as plaintiff exhibit B. I'm gonna play just a little bit for authentication purposes. Okay, sir, do you recognize that?
I don't see anything.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
The judge was looking for something. I wonder what the judge was looking for. Oh, okay. So in this clip, you can actually see that it is a clip from Hot Discord Rejects channel. And the stream is titled, "What Have You Become?" ? Featuring at Alex Glitter. And the date of that stream was September the 11th. There's AK, there's Alex, and there's the plaintiff's witness list on screen. Great. Oh, look, Clifford Bello is a witness. I stand corrected. Clifford Bello is listed as a witness in the DC. I can't with this shit. I can't. Oh my God. Clifford Bello is listed as a witness for Hussey in the Washington, D.C. breach of contract lawsuit against Clara and Ronald. And then was it not Cliff Rebello who contacted the Clark County, Indiana prosecuting attorney's office on behalf of Ron Corbin when he learned that Ron Corbin had been charged with felony stalking? Tried to interfere with and insert himself into that criminal proceeding? This is wow. Wow. Okay, here we go. Wow. Wow. Okay. Anyway, whoo. I stand corrected. Both Belinda and Cliff were listed as witnesses 7 months after the clip we just watched. All right. I stand corrected. Wild, Fauntleroy.
All right, sir, do you see this?
Yes, I see that.
Okay.
Like, you know, and I appreciate that. I'm glad.
Okay. Do you recognize this video, sir?
Yes,
What is this one about?
that is a list of my witnesses that she put on her channel.
Did you watch this video?
Yes,
And is there a clear and accurate representation of the original video?
yes.
And how did you get it?
It was clipped from her video.
Okay. Now this one, I'm only gonna play a small portion since it's 10 minutes long.
I mean, notice once again, they don't give a date on the clips. Maxwell and Hussey do not date any of these clips for the court. I guess the court was just taking it, taking the attorney at his word and on his, license and good standing with the bar, that if he's admitting an exhibit into evidence on an ex parte proof hearing, that the exhibit is, what's the word? Authentic and, proper, that it's not in any way fraudulent, misleading, or not applicable based on the merits and the facts of the case. I don't know. Who the fuck is Blinky? Who is Blinky?
We'll see this
Fucking AJ Lair. AJ Lair's ass would be on there.
shit for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of people who are coming out of the woodwork saying, like, I've seen things for the first time. I'm just now realizing what they're doing, and I'm sorry, and that kind of stuff. And it's like, I mean, I don't know who to trust because I've been burned by this shit by so many people. So it's kind of like, I don't know what to do, people who do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously you appreciate it, but it's just like, well, what do you do with that?
I don't know. I can't do another fucking Anna Nicole or another Sherry or.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, look, he put David McGrath, the same guy whose name is on his YouTube channel.
All right. So obviously, when AK scrolls up the list and gets to the name David McGrath, you can tell from the clip that she's familiar with this person already, right? She's familiar with David McGrath.
Look at that. Ireland, just where his fucking channel is, it says it's located.
Well, I'm sure, like, if we copyright struck his channel, yeah, we would have to get his address because he has to put an address in there.
Okay, so let's tap that back. What does Alex say?
It says it's located.
Hold on.
Ireland, just where his fucking channel is, it says it's located.
Alex says Ireland, just where his channel says it's located. So obviously there's already some like familiarity with David McGrath and the fact that it says his channel is located in Ireland. So this is not David McGrath, the plaintiff's witness that these two women are talking about. They're talking about somebody already known to them, right? They already know there's some question about whether or not David McGrath is located in Ireland and he owns the channel or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I just feel like any reasonable thinking person would be able to pick up on that context. And it's obvious that the statement that AK makes next is not in relation to David McGrath, the plaintiff's witness, but it's regarding business they already had or knew about him, right?
Well, I'm sure, like,
They were talking about Hussey bannovating using David's name. Really? Yeah. See? Nothing to do with the fact that David McGrath is a witness for plaintiff. All of these people and parties have already been known to AK and Alex for a very long time. And these comments that Hussey and Maxwell are trying to mislead the court into believing are being made or that they serve no legitimate purpose, but with the sole intention of creating fear, intimidation, and embarrassment among witnesses in order to prevent them from supporting plaintiff's case or testifying truthfully. Not the fucking case. And you can hear that clearly in this clip. AK says, I just want to reiterate the fact that Hussey admitted that it was Robert Maxwell's idea to sue me for witness tampering. Yes, he did. And I would love it if somebody had that clip with a timestamp. If you want to put it in the chat, I'm happy to play it.
If we copyright struck his channel, yeah, we would have to get his address because he has to put an address in there.
Yeah.
Transfer like a move in place of exhibit
Well,
D.
what a tightly clipped clip you presented to the court there, Mr. Maxwell. And it's shameful that that you chose to try to pull AK into this action with the court in such a sneaky, slimy way. A way in which you knew would result in you and your client being able to sit in front of a judge and paint whatever picture you wanted, completely unchecked and unchallenged. Mr. Maxwell, I would like to know, why did you not have AK served at her Maryland attorney's office? I mean, it's your client who's involved in a lawsuit with her in Maryland. It's that dude right there who's covering the camera with his hand. It's Mr. Chukachian who is involved in a lawsuit directly with AK in Maryland. It's your associate, Fupa Jones, who initially filed that case. I'm sorry, when was it that Maxwell was brought in to the Maryland case? It was prior to December, was it not? Why did you not serve AK for this matter via her Maryland attorney? It said on Hussey's Bannovating channel, his YouTube channel, that he was in Ireland, which is how we knew Hussey had the channel in David's name. They struck Jan's channel twice and YouTube found out it was Hussey's. Really? Right, Mandolin Effect. Instead, they gave her court papers to a random Caucasian man who could not be of any relation to AK because obviously AK is not a Caucasian woman. Therefore, her father would not be either. And they know that, don't they?
Plaintiff's fee submitted.
And so lastly, I'm gonna show you, sir, what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit C.
I'm gonna show you. Okay, I don't know why I'm having a tough time hearing.
Oh, look, now in this exhibit, 2 out of 3, you can see the stream and the channel that it came from. Hot Discord Rejects. The stream is called Here I Come, You Better Run, featuring @AlexGlitter. Is that Hussey recording that shit himself? It is. You can tell it. Jesus. This guy needs a psychiatric evaluation for sure.
Sir, do you see plaintiff exhibit C?
Yes, I see that. That's a witness.
All right. You play a little bit for authentication purposes.
Look at that face, dude. What happened to your cheek?
Can you tell us what this video is about?
They are showing a picture of my witness and laughing at her and making fun of her looks. And I think they claim that she's on drugs.
Sir, now, have you seen this video before?
Yes.
Is this a clear and accurate representation of what this video has?
Yes.
No,
Plaintiff's fee submitted.
no, sir. Mr. Shukeshian, please describe how you personally felt when you heard Defendant Khalil's statements during the live stream on Exhibit A.
When she put the witness list on her channel and she immediately started to go after them, it became an everyday thing for her. She would go after them every day, and it made me feel like my witnesses are going to walk away from me. They're not going to want to testify because they know what this girl is all about. She likes to go into people's real lives. She likes to call jobs. She does do this. She likes to. I've been swatted by her group, and they came to a point where I felt like I'm going to lose the case because my witnesses are all going to turn away, and it's stressed me where I just want to walk away from what I love doing, which is being online and entertaining people because of people like her. And she still continues to go after them. She threatens their jobs. She threatens them to go, threatens that they're going to get locked up if they testify for me. She puts their, incites people to call their parole officers. She doxes their husbands, their jobs of their husbands. Something is wrong with this person, Your Honor. And she has not
Exactly. Hey, girl. Hey, talking about everything he didn't bring as evidence.
stopped going after me for over a year, and she gets worse and worse.
Okay.
And
Now,
it's affected me emotionally, financially. I don't like to vlog anymore and go out because I feel like I'm getting attacked. She tags the police and says that I'm stealing. She tags the police and says that I'm filming children. And I'm seeking therapy because of this.
And have you experienced any ongoing anxiety or distress or emotional harm specifically
Yes,
related to
nightmares because of this? I have not been able to sleep. There are nights that I've cried about it. There's times that I don't even want to come online. It's over a week. I haven't been online for over a week because I can't. Every day I go to her channel and she's continuing to harass my witnesses. I go to her Twitter and she's putting names of my witnesses, their parole officers, what number to call to report them, calling them junkies, calling them criminals, calling them psychos. And this scares me. It's a very scary feeling, and her group has swatted me.
Her group has swatted me. Okay, that swatting allegation is in both complaints, the DC and the Maryland complaint. And this is what is said in the complaint about the swatting. It says, in the morning of July 14th, 2023, while plaintiff Chukachian was hosting a live stream on Twitch, he was swatted. 6 police officers knocked on his door and stated that they had received a call that plaintiff Chukachian was threatening to physically harm his roommate and was threatening to bomb the building he resides in. Plaintiff Chukachian answered the door and explained that he did not have a roommate. He also informed the officers that he had been threatened by Afshan Khalil and associates with swatting. Plaintiff Chukachian allowed the officers to perform a full search of his home, and they determined that there was no threat. That's crazy because this is the SWAT, quote unquote SWAT. It's only 4 minutes, 3 seconds. We're going to watch and listen. Oh, hold on. Hold on. It lost audio. I knew it. I'm so glad I checked it. Oh, hold on. Where is it? That's not it. You dummy, McDummerton. Did you really close it? Close it, Samantha? Oh my God. Hold on. What a moron. Oh my God. Are you guys following that Karen Reed trial? That shit is bonkers. And I want to talk to you all about it so much. Here it is. Okay, hold on. Let me pull my volume back up. Let me take her back. All right, here we go.
That's a very good question. They should get their head changed. Who is it? Who is it? Oh, the police are here. Hold on 1 second. Coming. I'm coming.
Oh, what the hell? Really? What do you mean you can't see it? I can see it. Oh, okay. Lord have mercy, Lisa. Look at this in chat. David McGee says tragic rang the cops on him. Really? Cops are still there. He's not even come back to the camera. Is this a different one? This is a different one. Hold on. Did he get swatted twice? This isn't the right one. When was this one? This is somebody else's. No, this is a different one. But when was this one? When does he come back? Hold on. Oh my God. Hold on. Shit. Okay. Let me go to, is it this one? Okay. This is the one from July. Hold on. Did my volume? Okay, it came. Okay, good. And make sure my sound came along with it. Hold on, let me back it up. Okay, this is the one from July 14, 2023.
Your teeth are fucking missing. Your hair is a disaster. Who is it? Oh, now the police is coming. This is lovely. Now we're gonna watch this. Coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. Hold on.
Knock, 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 knock. So it's not muted, and you can, I can't hear because I have AirPods in, like you can hear everything that you're saying, but it's not muted. He's talking to the police at the door, but in a very low voice, right? You really can't hear a whole lot. Detective Crawford knows everything. You can contact her. She knows who I am. Thank you, buddy. And now here he comes back to the camera. Doors closed. So the whole less than 1 minute, 30 seconds that the police were there, he spoke with them at the door. Now, don't you think if they were there because the report was that Hussey was threatening to physically harm his roommate and was threatening to bomb the building he resides in. Don't you think you would have heard any words that came even close to something like that? We didn't. And then it says Plaintiff Chuketjian allowed the officers to perform a full search of his home, and they determined there was no threat. When during this minute and 30 seconds from the time Hussey gets up out of his chair, yeah, like a minute 30 exactly, a minute 29, where during that time did 6 police officers come and search his home? Here he comes back. Let's hear what he had to say.
Simple as that.
Oh, simple as that. Simple as that.
Hold on, guys, I'm coming.
Hold on, guys. I'm coming.
Everything's okay. So what they did was, you see what they did?
What they did was, did you see what they did? All right, listen, I'm going to go back over here and finish this hearing, and then I got to get out of here. Let's finish this.
And can we be very specific about what Khalil did had him? I'm sorry. Can you be very specific about how Khalil's statement has directly emotionally impacted you? All of her statements.
She basically, what she's trying to do is vilify and alienate my witnesses.
Sure.
That's what she wants to do. She wants them to just walk away, so I don't have any people to testify for me. That's what she wants to do. That's her goal. And she threatens them while she is screaming. She says, we're going to take care of this one.
Maxwell keeps trying to stop him, sir, because he's not answering the question. He's continuing to tell the court, she this, she that, she this, she that. The question was, how has AK's actions directly affected you? You need to tell the court how it is that you have been emotionally distressed to the point to where AK owes you $50,000 to remedy it, and he won't do it. He won't fucking do it.
We're going to take care of that. I'm going to report this person's channel so I can get their address. She doesn't care if you live outside of the country. She doesn't care if you live in the United States. She finds ways to go into your real life, just like she said in that clip, Your Honor. She finds ways to go into your real life.
Look at the judge. She's fiddling with her ear.
She does it.
Mr. Jackson, I'm asking you, can you please explain the direct emotional impact Ms. Khalil's statements have had on you?
Oh, yes.
He's asking him again. Explain the direct emotional impact AK's statements have had on you. Let's see if he does it this time.
My depression has gone up. My blood pressure has gone up. I don't sleep at night sometimes. I have nightmares. At least once a week I have a nightmare. I don't go out like I used to. I used to go out almost on a daily basis. Now if I go out once a week, it's a lot. I'm depressed. It's affected everything. My finances, my emotional, every way this has affected me.
Now, have you
Mostly it's my depression.
Do you see the judge? She got her hands folded. She's kind of wringing her fingers. The judge is self-soothing. Look at her hands.
Every way this has affected me.
Now, have you?
Mostly it's my depression.
No, sir. Have you received any therapy or other treatment specifically addressing the emotional impact this has had on you?
Well, I take medication for the depression, the anxiety, my blood pressure is up, and I seek therapy.
Okay. Now, is there anything additional you would like to?
What does that mean exactly? What does I seek therapy mean exactly? Do you seek out therapists? Are you attending therapy? Are you actively in therapy? Do you meet regularly with a therapist? No, what he says was, I seek out therapy. I find that an interesting choice of words, Hussey.
To know about the impact of Defendant Khalil's actions on you.
Once again, he's asking for what?
court to know about the impact of Defendant
I
Khalil's
want the court to know about the direct impact of Defendant Khalil's actions against you. Okay, this is the third time.
actions on you.
I want you to know that this woman does not stop. Anybody in the right mind would stop doing what she's doing because of this lawsuit. But every day she continues.
Again, he's talking about AK. She this, she that. She doesn't stop. She does this. That was not what you were asked. And Hussey, this is why you're not going to get one red fucking cent awarded to you by this judge.
Harass,
Nothing.
threaten my witnesses. And I need your help. She has never suffered any kind of consequences for her actions online. She did not think that
Really? She's suffered no consequences. She's over $30-some thousand deep in legal fees because of you for the same fucking complaints that you're trying to have her pay through a DC. Please.
was going to bring her to court. But something needs to be done, Your Honor, to stop this online bullying to happen. People are getting away with a lot of this online. I hear when the 7 police officers came to my house when her group swatted me.
Was it 7? And how do you know it was her group? Was it 6 or was it 7? Tell us about the SWAT, Hussey, under oath, please.
They said this happens a lot.
So, Mr., I just want you to talk, and Mr. Maxwell, if you could direct your client to talk about specific things that have happened on specific dates or specific events that might provide the basis for relief, but I sort of
That might provide the basis for relief. So far, nothing that Hussey has said so far has provided a basis for relief. Did you hear it? Nothing Hussey has said so far has provided this judge with a basis for relief. You know what a basis for relief is, Hussey? A reason for her to have AK pay you, a reason for her to order AK to pay you. 0, bitch. You're getting nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
characterizations
Oh, wait, here we go.
but specific events that might
Hold on.
provide the and Mr. Maxwell, if you could direct your client to talk about specific things that have happened on specific dates or specific events that might provide the basis for relief, but I sort of characterizations about her aren't that helpful. So let me just have Mr.
Characterizations about her aren't that helpful. No, they're not. Hussey, you suck. You ain't getting shit, bro.
Maxwell ask you any additional questions if he has any additional questions, sir.
Yes. So let's just talk specifically about Exhibit A. Let me draw your attention back to Exhibit A.
Well, we don't need to repeat if necessary, so no need to be repetitive, but if you have a specific question, you can go there, Mr. Maxwell.
Thank you, Your Honor. So
Maxwell, you fucking suck. You suck.
just taking you back to Exhibit A, which was the first exhibit. Can you please tell the court specifically what she did, when it happened, and how it specifically affected you?
Well, what she said, if I remember correctly, Exhibit A was that she said she's very creative and she's going to find ways to F with me.
She was not talking to you or about you in Exhibit A. Exhibit A was the live stream that we now know was from February of 2024, before Hussey filed a lawsuit against AK in Maryland, before Hussey filed the breach of contract lawsuit in DC. And she was not talking to or about you. She was talking to and about Snifford in Exhibit A. So how is Exhibit A affecting you in any way, shape, or form when, much like this lawsuit has jack shit to do with AK, Exhibit A has jack shit to do with you, motherfucker?
This means that
Why don't you ask it not in the form of a compound question, Mr. Maxwell, so that it's maybe simpler and more straightforward to your client, and
Yeah, Maxwell, stop asking him compound questions.
so that it's maybe simpler and more straightforward to your client. And I'm just going to ask you, Mr. Chakuchian, to please, if you can, continue to speak into the microphone. When you move around, we can't hear you. So
you hear me
just,
better this way because I'm having problem here. Can I just
The judge said dumb it down for him.
get out and come back? Would that help?
I'm sorry, sir. Nope, you don't need to, you just need to stay still. Speak into the microphone. We can hear you. So just do that. And Mr. Maxwell, you asked a compound question. If you could just ask him a question and he'll give an answer, and then another question and he'll answer. So I think the first one was, what did she do to you? Related to Exhibit A. So what's your next question, Mr. Maxwell?
All right. And so can you please state specifically how what she said affected you?
Well, when she said that she's gonna find ways to F with me, she's very creative. That makes me fear for my life. I feel
Wow, Mr. Jukachian, this is gonna come back to bite you and your fat ass. I'm telling you right now.
that this woman wants to get me hurt. She doesn't care what she does, what she says. She already lies about me. She already
These are also characterizations of Miss AK's personality and character, and that is not what the judge wants to hear. So you're still batting zero, big guy. You're still fucking it up. You're still losing. All right.
tags the police saying things that are not true. She has gotten me swatted. So this makes me feel that she wants to ruin my life. And she has tweeted that people want to destroy me. Nobody wants, it's her that wants to destroy me. Okay? And so I feel like my life is in danger.
Okay,
This
next
makes
question,
me-
Mr.
This
Maxwell.
gives me nightmares. This makes me cry. This
Sir,
causes me depression. Oh, I've not done nothing to this
Sure.
person
all right,
to make
Mr.
her hate me and
Churkin,
want the worst for me.
Mr. Churkin, I'm sorry, Mr. Churkin, can you hear me now?
I'm very low, but I can hear you.
Okay, so turn to Exhibit B. This is the exhibit where they listed your witnesses online. Can you please tell the court when this occurred?
That occurred immediately after my witness list became public.
And what exactly did she do?
She showed a list of my witnesses, and she went down the line, down the list, and she basically harassed. That was the start, where she started to harass and defame and look up who they are and how she was going to start to look into all of that.
Lies. AK was already familiar with the names on that witness list. The ones that she did talk shit about, she was already familiar. You're lying. That's a lie. Goofy Dome, Goofy Ho Bitch, thank you so much for the super chat. This is on Maxwell. No prep at all. That's true. Basically harass Lisa Simpson. Thank you for pointing that out. That is not saying he didn't say anything. Nothing of what he just said there was a specific. What did she do? And that is what the judge is looking for. That is what the judge has been asking for. What did she do? He's still not doing it. He's still not answering the question.
And how specifically did doing this affect you?
I felt like I'm going to lose my witnesses. I felt like I'm going to lose the case. A lot of these people know her character online and know that she likes to go into people's real lives. And
Sir,
she makes phone calls to people's jobs on her show. So they know. So I say to myself, would I want to
So, Mr. Shakuchian, so here's what I'm going to do. I tried to allot enough time, and you should get time for your hearing. I do need to break at 11:45 in this matter. And if we break, I can set the date, another date to hear the remainder of your hearing. And you don't need to take until 11:45, but I need you to speak to the specifics of this case. And Mr. Maxwell, if you could ask questions about the specifics of the case, you can proceed.
Mr. Honor.
So again, I think up to this point, we can all agree that none of Hassi's testimony is landing with this judge in this matter. She literally just cut him the fuck off and basically said, if you cannot start presenting me with some evidence and some testimony that can be useful, we're going to have to call it quits, and you can maybe come back another day. But yeah, it's not happening. You're not getting there, Hassi. You're getting absolutely fucking nowhere. Congratulations is what you deserve.
And so actually, this is going to be my last one. Let's draw your attention to Exhibit C. Do you remember Exhibit C, Yarn? I'm sorry. Do you remember?
Exhibit C was the photo of Belinda Carroll that AK and Alex were making fun of, which, by the way, I too have shown on my YouTube channel and my Twitter, I believe, and made fun of. Who hasn't? Who hasn't? Would AK and Alex have been making fun of that photo had Belinda's name not appeared on the witness list? Absolutely. Why? Because they've been known Belinda online and they have been engaging in ridiculing her and making fun of her long before any of these lawsuits were even filed. So, whatever.
Exhibit C, Mr. Chickajoe?
Exhibit C.
Oh,
I'm sorry, which one?
I find this interesting, the way Maxwell describes exactly who Belinda is in relation to this case. Listen.
Was that?
Show it to you?
Yes, please. Yes, I'm sorry, I remember.
Okay. Now, sir, can you tell us when this occurred?
I don't know the
Yeah, when did it occur?
exact when it occurred.
Did he ask when Exhibit A occurred? I did not hear him ask whenever Maxwell questioned Hussey about Exhibit A, he did not ask him when did this occur, but he did ask him when did the witness list stream occur, which was Exhibit B, and now he's asking him when did Exhibit C occur, but he did not ask him when Exhibit A occurred. And I find that interesting because, as we all now know, and it says it, they're like, it's not even speculation when that one occurred. They're watching Alex's clip, and Alex's clip is date and time stamped February of 2024. But Maxwell doesn't ask Hussey when that one occurred, the only one.
Like almost on a daily basis, she talks about Belinda Carroll. So
Okay.
I wouldn't know what date it was.
And sir, can you tell us exactly what happened in this video?
That video, Belinda was very happy about how she looked in that video. That's an old video. That's an old picture. And she was very happy about how she looked. So she was showing off the jeans and the high heels that she was wearing. And she put the video up making fun of her from head to toe. And I believe that she was also saying that she's still on drugs.
Okay. Now, how did this affect you?
Well, I thought that she was going to walk away from becoming a witness because when we had spoken, she said that she's concerned.
Okay, and so how did that specifically affect your emotional state?
I felt like I'm going to lose this case. I'm going to have nobody to defend me. I'm going to have no witnesses, and she's the one that's going to have witnesses to defend her. I just felt like no one's going to want to testify for me. And it's caused me, again, depression.
She was, hold on. She was on her phone. Look at the judge, everybody. Look at the judge.
Becoming a witness, because when we had spoken, she said that she's concerned.
You could look. Okay, listen, I'm going to tap it back a little more. I know I said I got to get out of here, but I just want everyone to focus on the judge's body language for the last part of this.
That's an old picture. And she was very happy about how she looked. So she was showing off the jeans and the high heels that she was wearing. And she put the video up making fun of her from head to toe. And I believe that she was also saying that she's still on drugs.
Okay. Now, how did this affect you?
Well, I thought that she was going to walk away from becoming a witness because when we had spoken, she said that she's concerned.
Okay, and so how did that specifically affect your emotional state?
The judge just ordered herself a Jimmy John sandwich.
I felt like I'm going to lose this case. I'm going to have nobody to defend me. I'm going to have no witnesses, and she's the one that's going to have witnesses to defend her. I just felt like no one's going to want to testify for me.
She's on her phone. Did you see her just grab her phone? This is where she orders her Jimmy John's.
And it caused me, again, depression, nightmares, not wanting to work.
Okay. Jen, I have no further questions.
Okay. Any
Everybody put your listening ears on. This is damn near the best part.
arguments you want to make, Mr. Maxwell?
Yes, Your Honor. So the court's aware the matter is currently in default, and we're here for ex parte proof hearing. The evidence has shown that Ms. Afshan Khalil has, before it started, specifically threatened to go after Mr. Ketchian's friends, his family, and even himself if he did not let everything go. And then she put up the witness list in Exhibit B.
Maxwell, you just lied because that is Exhibit A that you're referring to. And she was not talking to Mr. Chukachin in that clip. She was talking to Sniffer Rebello in that clip from February of 2024 before either of these lawsuits were ever even filed. You're a liar. Are you perjuring yourself? Are you under oath to tell the truth? Who's lying to you? Are you lying or is Hussey lying to you?
And then went after every witness, including telling people how to get addresses and stuff of that nature.
Telling people how to get addresses and stuff of that nature. Wow, that is a gross misrepresentation of what actually occurred in Exhibit B, but okay, Robert.
And in Exhibit C, they specifically went after the witness, the main witness in the specific case.
The main witness in this specific case, that's Belinda. Exhibit C was the picture of Belinda. So you're telling me that Belinda Carroll was the main witness in the Washington, D.C. breach of contract lawsuit between Hussey and Clara? Belinda Carroll was Hussey's main witness in the Washington, D.C. breach of contract lawsuit between Hussey and Clara and Ron. Main witness was Belinda. Say it again, Maxwell.
In Exhibit B, and then went after every witness, including telling people how to get addresses and stuff of that nature. And in Exhibit C, they specifically went after the witness, the main witness in the specific case.
He says the witness, the main witness in this specific case. The main witness in this specific case.
Now, Mr. Ketchian testified about how this affected
This hearing was last Friday.
him. He mainly testified about the emotional stress, depression, and how it's affecting his ability to do work. He testified about how he can't work very much, how he wants to stop doing what he loves, how he can't do the work very well, so he's losing money in the process, and how he had to go to therapy and take medication, all because of the scenario, including how worried he was because these witnesses, because of what's being done to the witnesses.
This testimony that this judge is being forced to listen to, this absolute bullshit, is literally making her itchy. Literally, Maxwell, Hussey, you're making the judge itch. Are you not watching this? She cannot stop scratching herself. You're making her fucking itch from the bullshit.
That he would not have the witnesses for his case, and his belief
She's back on her phone.
that this case may even fall apart because of her attacks on the witnesses. And so we believe this shows a basis for which relief can be granted, and which Mr. Chukachin can be given damages in the amount of $50,000.
Are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? It gets better.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Maxwell, I'm sorry, did I miss testimony about the $50,000, or what's your evidentiary basis for the $50,000?
Did I miss testimony about your $50,000? What is your evidentiary basis for the $50,000, Hussey? Lean in. Listen. Tuck your wig behind your ear so you can hear me good. That right there is the judge telling you you ain't getting shit, my guy. What is your evidentiary basis for the money? We're at the end of the hearing. Your attorney just finished his closing argument. You've presented your case. You've made your arguments. You've made your prayer for relief. You've showed your exhibits and your evidence. And after it was all said and done, the judge said, I'm sorry, did I miss testimony? What is your evidentiary basis for the $50K? You're not getting shit. I see. Listen to her say it again.
$1,000. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Chukachin can be given damages in the amount of $50,000. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Maxwell, I'm sorry, did I miss testimony about the $50,000, or what's your evidentiary basis for the $50,000?
It's just based on emotional.
What is your evidentiary basis, bro? Did I miss it? No, you didn't miss it, Judge. You did not. AK says, I believe Belinda was paid to life for Hussey. I wouldn't be shocked.
Stress, Your Honor. His testimony about how this affected him with the medication, having to go to therapy, and him not wanting to even continue to do the work he loves.
Okay, and again, let me try to ask it another way.
Let me try to ask it another way. Because she's like, no, bro, you're wrong. So let me ask this another way.
Are there any exhibits or documents that itemize the things that you have listed.
Are there any evidence or documents that itemize these things that you just listed? And look at Maxwell's face right after he has to admit, no, Your Honor. Look at his face. Look at his face. This is the face of Robert Maxwell realizing, shit, it didn't work. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid. This didn't work. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and bop this into my text message with you, AK. I'll give that one to you. I think you'd enjoy that. If you want me to print it for you and mail it to you, I'll be happy to do that. Maybe put it in a nice frame, you know. I cried myself to sleep some nights over it. Look at Maxwell's face when he has to tell the judge, no, I brought no evidence, no documents, nothing to support my claim for $50,000 in damages. Nothing. Do it again. I want to hear it again.
Ask it another way. Are there any exhibits or documents that itemize the things that you have listed? I'm sorry, counsel.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And the request is for
Fucking loser.
$50,000 based upon his general statements about his therapy and medication.
This is the judge literally telling you, Robert Maxwell, that you gotta be fucking kidding me. So you're telling me that you want me to award your client $50,000 based on his, how did she say it?
General statements about his therapy and medication.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He's like, yes, Your Honor. That's right. Because what else can he say? What else can he say? Well, no, never mind. He's like, yes, Your Honor. And look at the look on his face.
All right. So
I know emotional support Memphis says it's like watching an SNL skit. It really fucking is. Goofy dumb, goofy hoe bitch. Thank you so much for the super chat. This lawyer is a joke. You have to justify damages. Something punitive. This is malpractice. Agreed, in my opinion. Oh, goofy dumb, goofy hoe bitch. I don't think I saw this one before. Sorry. This is on Maxwell. No prep at all. Nope. Thank you for the super chat. All right, let's see. What else did the judge have to say?
what I'm going to do is take this motion for default judgment under advisement, and I will set this matter in about 60 days. We will roll on it certainly prior to that date, but I just want to set it as a control date.
As a control date. I couldn't remember exactly how she worded it. Okay, so now there's a lot of question about because this, if you look at the docket, the register of actions, this was put on yesterday, I think. Yamano, thank you so much for gifting 5 Samantha Jean memberships. I appreciate you, girl. Welcome, Scorpio Angel, Lilies, Tammy with a Y, FW11, and Mim the Bearcat. Welcome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. So this was the hearing on May 30th. The minutes read: Court Smart, case heard in WebEx remotely. Plaintiff attorney Maxwell presents and plaintiff present. Defendant failed to appear. Plaintiff sworn in and gave testimony. Plaintiff exhibits video A through C admitted. Court takes case under advisement. No further dates to be set, held, and completed. Then it says matter taken under advisement. Then yesterday, they put the remote status hearing for October 17th on the docket. Again, I'm not sure. Could that just be, from here where she says she's going to set the matter out? She did say 60 days, but who knows? I don't know why she did it for longer than 60. But I think maybe that's all that is just her setting it for a control date, basically.
What I'm going to do is take this motion for default judgment under advisement, and I will set this matter in about 60 days. We will roll on it certainly prior to that date, but I just want to set it as a control date. Okay.
I just want to set it as a control date. Certainly we'll rule on it prior to that. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think that the judge made it pretty clear at the end there which way this is going to go. I think the whole fucking thing is going to be denied. There will be no default judgment and there will be no monetary award because what for is what the judge basically said at the end of your little hearing there, Maxwell and Hesse. She said, what the fuck for? And you brought me nothing. That's what she said. Just so you know. Yamano, thank you for being a member for 36 months. Man was hoping Maxwell would get a membership so he can see what real lawyers do. Oh, Yamano, it was a nice try though. Thank you for gifting the memberships. Okay, guys, I went 41 minutes longer than I intended to. Yikes on bikes, but this was great. Wasn't this great? I mean, there's even more. There is. I went through all of these filings. There's so much more that is just like, oh my God, I can't believe Maxwell had the fucking balls to pull this shit. But there's only so many hours in the day. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. And I'm not sure when I'll be live again, but hopefully soon. And yeah, in the meantime, just know, Hussy, you ain't getting shit. And good on you. Good on you, AK, for not falling victim to yet another vexatious, frivolous, and malicious lawsuit levied at you by Robert Maxwell and his vexatious litigant of a client, Ken Chukachian. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye. Maybe. Oh, look, I don't have an outro. There we go. That'll work. All right, sounds good. All right, bye, guys.